Kamala Devi was very outspoken for an Indian village woman. I would visit her at 4 a.m. because that's when she would wake up every day to begin her morning chores. After doing all of her sweeping, go to the buffalo shed and she would, feed the buffalo and then she would then milk the buffalo, all by the light of her kerosene lantern. So finally, after all those chores were done, she would then start the morning cooking fire. At that point, she would turn off her kerosene lantern because the cooking fire provided the light for the family. The difficult thing about the cooking fire, though, was that the fumes were so terrible from the smoke. But her kids would be sitting there right by the fire trying to read, and obviously very uncomfortable. Their eyes would get pretty watery. People really value education, and they will pay for things like lighting in order to help their children study, but they just don't have any sort of product or solution that they can buy. And so that's when I knew I wanted to work on this problem. My name is Erica Estrada, and I'm a co-founder of D.light Design. D.light Design is a social enterprise that was founded in 2007 that provides affordable light and power technologies to people in underserved markets living off the grid. And so one of our products in our product line is something called the D.light Nova. And it's an LED solar rechargeable light, and it has fast recharge capabilities. So if you're recharging with a solar panel, usually our customers recharge it every single day, and they won't run out of light. Kamala Devi became like the archetype, I guess, for who our customer was, and having her in mind as someone that I'm designing for, even when I'm over here, has been a really useful technique. It was actually really hard to work on a light for somebody that doesn't have access to electricity when, I'm surrounded by electricity. I use it all the time, every day. And so we did a lot of things to immerse ourselves here in the US. A lot of times, me and my team would just say, okay, tonight let's all go home and we're gonna study by candlelight, cook by candlelight, just to see what it was like. So one of our initial customers or people that we were designing for were these shopkeepers. And so we decided, well, let's go ahead and build our own Indian shop here. And so we would do that. We would use PVC, we would use just the tables that were there, whatever we could find, mock up a shop, and then we would just reenact a shop scene. What was great was we were able to not only see what the human interactions were like, but also the technical specifications. So what kind of shadows does a candle emit on the goods? What kind of shadows does a fluorescent light put onto all the products that are there? So we were in real time being able to figure out, okay, well, this is the type of light that we would want. So we went for something that was kind of an all-purpose home light.
I think it's interesting because I can imagine you come up with an insight that people want to feel secure. So you can totally create a prototype and see if something made people here feel more secure, but then what makes someone here feel secure versus in China maybe it's like a totally different cultural set. So I think that's an interesting problem of even if you understand what you're trying to test and you find people and you create an analogous situation, the meaning behind the need is different in different cultures.
So I took an early prototype of this form to India, and the response that I got from almost everybody was, we want a handle on top. They kept kind of motioning with their hand that they wanted to be able to carry it from on top. So I called my team, who was in China at the time, getting the manufacturing started. They had already cut the tool, but we insisted that we needed to find some way to add a handle on top. And then I had to fly to China that next week to figure out, okay, where can we source a strap like this? Our ability to be really nimble and to really listen to our customers and take their feedback to heart has been kind of setting us apart from the other products out in the market.